Hi guys, Gina from Euphoria Soapworks here. I'm going to be making my Coffee Addict Silk Soap today. This is one of our best sellers. This is a great soap to make for all of the coffee lovers out there. And I just wanted to apologize ahead of time if my kids come in here and start making noise. They're cooped up in the house because it's raining and because of the fires. So I think I can hear them now. They're a little bit squirrely, so sorry if we get interrupted. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and strain the lye water right into the soap here, or into the oils, pardon me. Okay. So this is just part of my water. I also have fresh brewed coffee that I'm adding, but I'm adding it in separately. And the reason I'm doing that is because when you add coffee, brewed coffee to lye, it makes this horrible smell, and it can permeate your containers depending on what material your containers are made out of. And I don't like that, because that scent can sometimes transfer, even if you've washed it and bleached it and done everything in your power to get the scent out. Sometimes it can transfer to other products you might be making or something. So I just don't, I don't like to do that initially. I just add it in separately so it's not sitting there permeating the plastic. I usually have a particular container designated for this, but I can't find it. We've got everything kind of moved around, so just gonna have to make do this way. So this looks like it's gonna take a while because of the thickness of the lye water solution and the silk that's in there. So I'm gonna try to help it along a little bit, and we'll get this going. I usually do the fast and fun versions for you guys because I do have the kids in the house a lot of times, and I know people just enjoy kind of seeing how it goes, but they don't always want to sit through all of the drama of it all. So here we go, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the coffee in. And you don't have to worry about whether you're adding, you know, just liquid to your oils, because you've got the lye in there and that's gonna homogenize everything for you. So put the stick blender in and we'll get going. So I just want this at a, I really just want it to make a nice emulsion. I'm going to separate off some of it to make the top kind of a creamier color. It's not going to be white because I added the coffee in there to the whole batch. It's just easier, you know, and I'll add some titanium dioxide and then we'll lighten it a bit, but it'll still be kind of coffee colored, like coffee with cream. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some off. I poured off about 10 ounces, and I'm going to pour off some for the top. That's about another 10 ounces. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add some fragrance in here. So Give me just a moment. Okay. This smells so good. Okay, so now that the fragrance is in there, I'm going to give it a quick sniff test, see how it smells amazing. Again, you can smell that real pungent coffee aroma. And that's just natural. That's what it does when you add coffee to your soap. But it goes away after it's saponified. It smells really good. All right. So I'm going to add some coffee grounds to this. I don't want to add too much, but I have ground these coffee beans really fine with a coffee grinder. Because even though things are really fine, they still feel really big on the skin when you're washing. So you don't want it to be too scratchy, but you do want to have some nice exfoliation. And also, I'm going to be adding a touch of gingerbread mica to this because I want it to brown evenly. It's going to discolor, and I want it to discolor evenly. I don't want it to be streaky, even though it might not be noticeable. I soap at about 80 degrees, give or take. That just works best for me. I've noticed that my batter stays really fluid. I don't have to rush to do any swirls. It just seems to work out the best for me. So to each his own. Some people, and you know, sometimes certain designs require soaping at a higher temperature so you can get real buildable layers or things of that nature. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I find that most new soapers are having a tough time controlling their batter, so I recommend soaping lower temps. It just gives you more time to work with it. Okay, so now I'm going to add in a little titanium dioxide here. And this is just to give it a little contrast. I also did want some of the coffee grounds in there. And I don't use brewed coffee, spent coffee. I don't mind if it discolors. I find that it actually doesn't for me. So this works just fine. So I'm gonna just stir this in because I don't have enough to really use a stick blender, and it'll create a lot of air bubbles. So we're just going to stir, and then we're going to do an in the pot swirl. And it's very simple and very pretty. So get this cleaned up, and we will get set here. All right. Oop. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by children. Let's pause and see if I can have a chat. All right, so let's go ahead and pour this in. I've scraped the bottom and the sides really well, so there's nothing. And I'm just going to pour in 3 spots. Scrape it out. Okay. And then I love the way this looks. It's so pretty. All right, let's go ahead and pour. Let's see if you guys can try to focus the camera here. Here we go. All right. I'm just making little swirls as I go, swirling it back and forth. And it gets this kind of greenish tinge to it, but that's just how it is when you're making coffee soap. It goes back to normal. So you might be wondering, if you're making a coffee soap, what is that god-awful scent? It's Ruin, but it's not Ruin. That's very natural. That will change once it's saponified. Okay. So now that we've got that in there, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little tap. Okay. And I will work on my topping here. Set this aside. This is gonna go on top. I'm probably gonna spoon it on. I usually pipe it on or spoon it on. Either way. This one I might have to get a stick blender into. It's going to take a while to set up otherwise. So while I go get a new fresh one, I will pause you and I will be right back. Okay, I have mixed in the fragrance and the titanium dioxide to this part of the batch, and we've got a nice creamy consistency and color, and so I think it's time to go ahead and spoon this on. And I've marked my my mold where I cut my bars a little bit larger probably than most people, because I like a nice thick sturdy bar. Anyway, so I'm going to place these there and we'll see how it goes. I just want kind of dollops. It's a lot easier if you have the patience to pipe it on, but I'm busy today. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to get this done. So what I'm going to do to the top of this is put some little coffee bean embeds in there. They are so cute. I try not to make these bars too tall, otherwise they won't fit into my boxes. They're supposed to be a certain height. Something to consider if you guys are packaging your soaps. If you're interested in the molds that we use, we make them and sell them here, and they're really nice to just be able to do a small batch, or you can use the larger ones if you need to make a double batch. Whatever it is, we can accommodate. We can also do custom sizes, so you guys can just message us for that if you're interested in a custom size. We don't do silicone lined molds yet. I'm hoping in the future I can convince my husband to do it, but as of right now, he won't do that. So we just do it old school and line the mold. The nice thing about lining the mold is that you can then mark on it. If you change the size of your bars, it doesn't matter because this just gets thrown away. So it's nice in that respect. So, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and put on these cute little coffee bean embeds. See if I can do this with a glove. This is really difficult to put in. I don't think I can with a glove because it messes up your soap. All right. I just adore these little coffee beans. And these are made with glycerin soap. So they're little melt and pour embeds. I've added a little mica to that so that it has this beautiful brown, espresso colored brown. And they actually do have a little fragrance as well. So I like to kind of push them down in there too so they don't stick up too far from my box. So this recipe has fresh brewed coffee and cocoa butter and organic coconut oil, organic sunflower oil, some other oils that we use. It's a very skin nourishing soap, but it's also exfoliating. I like to formulate my soap so that they are soft to the skin and they don't dry your skin out. There's a lot of people that have a lot of skin issues, and I don't want to add to that, so I try to make sure that our soaps are very gentle. Running out of coffee beans. If you're wondering where I got the coffee bean mold, I honestly cannot remember. I was trying to think about that, and I have gotten so many molds. I just don't remember where I got it. I would suggest, you know, Googling it and seeing if you can find it online. I'm sure it was purchased online somewhere, but I just don't remember where. So, sorry I can't help you there. Okay. I think that just about does it. I'm gonna spray the top with some, I do 91% alcohol because I find that it isn't as thick as the 99% alcohol, and I feel like it evaporates quicker and seals better. And I don't have any, with the 99% alcohol, sometimes I get this pooling, and it just kind of looks rubbery, so I don't care to use it. I prefer the 91, but it's just a personal preference. You guys use whatever works best for you. And once this has evaporated, I suppose we don't need this anymore, huh? Once this has evaporated, I'll sprinkle a little coffee grounds on top. My hands are clean. I always thoroughly wash my hands before I start soaping. I just feel kind of weird about that. So the only thing I've had on my hands are gloves. And let's see. I was thinking about adding a little dusting of gold mica this time, but I probably should just not gild the lily. Sometimes less is more, and I have a hard time accepting that. Okay. See if you can see that up close. And that is our Coffee Addict Silk Soap. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos. And we really appreciate you joining us today. And happy soaping!